there is a peak in the fossil age. Now, when that peak is of great debate. One of the more radical views of this peak tends to be the IPCC, that shows no peak in the fossil age for the next 100 years in their business as usual case. Most people feel that's highly debatable and controversial, that you will have these peaks in the various fossil fuels likely within the next 100 years. The first peak will, in all likelihood, be oil in perhaps 30 to 40 years. The next peak will be in natural gas in potentially 50 to 60 years. Coal, because it's such a large resource, can continue upward, but with the other two going down, the net effect is we reach a peak in CO2 emissions from fossil fuels likely less than 100 years, more likely in 50 to 70 years. And so that should be a case that's considered in some of the IPCC estimates, and generally is not at this point. It tends to show that they're giving a worse scenario, not a more objective scenario for their base case. We will continue to see a more marginal fossil fuels recovered as the price goes up and the technology improves. But when I give these peaks, I've actually taken a large account of heavier and less economically recoverable fuels. The exception is I've not taken into account methane hydrates and kerogen from shale rock, or what's sometimes referred to as shale oil, but now there's confusion on shale oil from fracturing of shale getting, in addition to natural gas, some oil. But that should not be confused with kerogen in Colorado and Utah. That's a very large resource of oil. But at this time, there's no technology for recovery of the kerogen oils or the methane hydrates. But if we do have a radical technology breakthrough, then the IPCC projections could be correct. As the fossil fuel era peaks, there are three interesting happenings at the same time. The first thing, as we approach the peak, the prices go very high. And when those prices go high, three things happen. One is we consume less of that resource, so we start to make the peak just in conservation and efficiency due to higher price. The other is alternatives start to come in, and there are many different alternative fuels being developed from solar and electric vehicles, biomass to liquids, biomass to electricity. These will become more competitive with that higher price. But the third is, at the higher price, there's more incentive to go out and find other marginal fossil fuels as well.